Hello, everybody. It's Woo's the Collector here, and this is the Collector's Geeks and Freaks Show, episode 32. All right, guys. So, no movies this week out in the theaters that I wanted to see. There's a couple coming out, maybe. I think the next movie we'll be seeing in theaters is Knock at the Cabin by M. Night Shyamalan. That's in February, and we still got 2 weeks in January here left. Next week, I don't think I'm going to see anything. Maybe the week before Knock at the Cabin, if it's still out, I might see Infinity Pool with Alex Skarsgård and Minnie Goth. I got to watch the trailer. I believe it's, I think it's Francis Ford Coppola's daughter directed it. So I'm interested to see the trailer. And I saw another one, something about fear, and these people go to a cabin and they all have to live their fears. So I might check one of those out, or possibly both. I don't know. I'm going to check out the trailers. Maybe you guys want to check out the trailers as well. On the small screen this week. So the Woos has been catching up on Mayans. So I just finished season 3, and wow, the left with a cliffhanger there at the end, with Easy standing at the gate of the club and all the other Mayans trying to break in. So really cool. If you're Sons of Anarchy fan and you haven't watched the Mayans yet, you have to. It's good. It's as good as well, not as good as yeah, I would say as good as of Anarchy. Um, doesn't beat Sons of Anarchy, but it's good. Love Kurt Sutter with this. He did try another show, The Bastard, that didn't last long. So seems like his motorcycle club thing here is his niche. We'll see what else he could put out in the future, maybe. Also, we finished Miss Marvel, which I believe I talked about last week, and I was surprised at that and really got into it at the end. But then Lady Woos wanted me to start to watch Sweet Tooth because I guess season 2 is coming out on Netflix. I wanted to watch this, but I wasn't too sure. The actor who's guarding Sweet Tooth, I don't know. I gotta look up his name, but he also played in the James Patterson Zoo. I couldn't remember. I had to look because I got the book up on the shelf that I wanted to read ever since I watched the TV series that ended. Too short for my opinion. But if you ever get a chance to check out Zoo, um, check it out. I think it ran for 3 seasons. I enjoyed it. Um, Maybe you will too. So, but back to Sweet Tooth. 2 episodes and I wouldn't say I'm hooked. I want to see what happens next. It's been good so far, but before she talked me into Sweet Tooth, I didn't realize The Last of Us started on HBO Max, and I really want to watch that. So I'm gonna try to binge Sweet Tooth through, and then jump on The Last of Us. Um, so that's everything I've been watching on the screen this week. Not much in this week. I did get some pops, Funko Pops from Amazon that I'll unbox, and I got my Midtown comic pre-order. I thought I wasn't going to get it. It's been about it shipped before December. Here we are, the second week in January. It was the last week of December. It shipped out, and I finally got it. Uh, the U.S. Postal, kept on pushing it. They would say it was getting delivered Monday. Then it said it was getting delivered Tuesday. And this went on for the whole week. And it was Saturday when finally, yesterday, that I actually got it because I was about ready to call Midtown and say, what can we do here? It wasn't Midtown's fault, something with the post office, but I got my comics. That's all that matters. All right, let's get into some opening some boxes here. No packing. Hopefully the pop is in the manufacturer little box that they send them in, so he didn't get all dinged up bouncing around this big box. Now, if you see, these are also popped. That's a better sized box for a pop, almost perfect size. Yep, luckily he is in his cardboard box, so that's good. Doesn't look beat up. Oh, this is the Walt Disney one. I pre-ordered this. Walt Disney icons. He's in black and white. I really dig the box, but yeah, kind of shiny. You can't see it. Walt Disney with drawing. They got Disney's 100th anniversary. So I thought this was a cool one to have. There's the man himself, Walt Disney. I wonder what he would think of Disney's merge with everything and taking over the media world, or the world of cinema, buying up Marvel, buying up. Uh, what else did they buy? They bought Predator, Aliens, Fox. They bought Fox. Jeez. Yep, the mouse has taken over anything. Curious to wonder to see what Walt Disney would have thought of this. I'm sure his descendants are doing quite well. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, like I said, I've cut that back down because, well, yep, the other one, no packing, but he's in his box. This is Black Adam. So let's see. This is an Amazon exclusive I pre-ordered. Been hearing that there will not be a Black Adam 2. Seems like James Gunn and Dwayne Johnson met, and it didn't go too well from what I've read. So we won't be seeing a Black Adam 2. Will we see Black Adam in the new DC? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But that's the Black Adam exclusive from Amazon, and he glows in the dark. Probably his eyes glow, and probably the bolt. I'm speculating. Last pop of the week. Yeah, I cut down. As you notice, there's not 1,000 boxes. There is a huge pile for me to catalog. So I catalog, I put them downstairs. Then I figure out what totes they're going in and all that. Just so you guys know, what I do is all my Funkos are, if I look up the value. If it's over $20, I put them in the plastic protector. If the value is over 20. If it's over 100, it gets a hard case. Yep. No protective box on this one, but at least there's some packing. This is the Tony Soprano, which I know I still haven't watched yet. Another one of my want to watch list. This is Amazon exclusive, and you see he's got a duck. I don't know what the duck means because I haven't watched the series, but that's pretty damn cool. Tony Soprano, the actor who played him, James Gandolf, sadly passed away. But I saw what was it? There's a prequel movie out which I haven't watched where his son plays him as young Tony Soprano. Kind of cool. All right, so we've got our Midtown Comics pre-order. This is a good sized box, so quite a few in here. Like I said, Midtown Comics pre-orders, you can save up to anywhere $50. Usually it's not $50, 50% off sometimes. But most of the time, it's about 30% you save. Plus you get a bag and backing board. And this says I have 43 comics in this box. And they always wrap them in their bags. So there's 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. And look at all that. They do not spare on packing when it comes to your comics. This could be any order of comics you get from them. I highly suggest Midtown Comics, especially if you're over here on the East Coast. Shipping with the pre-orders, I kind of divide it. So if I pay $7 for shipping and I order 30, I divide it and I add that to the cost of the book, and it's still under what you would pay to the book if you went to a brick and mortar store. I'm not saying stop going to your local comic shops, because that's one thing. But there's one thing at local comic shops I hate. It's people who sit there or scan through the whole book. I'm like, if you're going to read it, read it. Not go in there and kind of mess it up for the next person, You get your grimy hands all over that nice new comic. Come on. Those are just the old days I remember at the comics stores. But this is the way I go now. I do go out to the brick and mortars if I'm missing some. But I actually just did a pre-order today for January. You have to do it by a certain time of the month before. And then the January month ends. And then February. So I did my pre-order for January this morning. That came to just under $100. But I had some books that I was missing. in my save for later, and they're all Midtown Comics is running a recent back issue for up to 50% off. So these books that have been sitting in my cart for a few weeks were actually a lot cheaper than that. And even with the shipping, that was a little high in my opinion for the amount of books I got. It still works out where they're way under cover price, and you get a bag and backing for it. All right, so we got the Dark Web spinoff, Mary Jane and Black Cat. So I haven't read any of the Dark Web story yet. So I'm trying to get some of these and line them up in the way you're supposed to read them. Han Solo and Chewbacca, Star Wars. That's not Moff Gideon. Grand Moff Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin. Jesus. I'm terrible with the names today. I don't know what it is with me in pronunciation. Timeless. This is a one-shot with Kang, and as we all know, Kang's going to be big in the Marvel MUC this phase. What are we at? Phase 5, I believe, or 4. Another Dark Web tie-in from Venom, which I currently read the Venom. Dark Knights of Steel. I've been reading this one. This is a 12-issue limited series. It's what would happen if the L's, it's actually all 3 of them came here and landed in medieval times. So it's an alternative timeline kind of deal, but it's a cool story. So if you get a chance, pick up the trade paper book when it comes out and give it a read. Gold Goblin, Norman Osborn as a hero now, since he's been cleansed of his sins from the Sin Eater. This is also a Dark Web tie-in, so I gotta put those in order so I can read them. This one, we gotta flip around. Midtown Comics always puts the barcodes on the outside, so if the barcode isn't on the cover, they put it in there backwards. Dead Seas. This is seemed like a horror story, so I picked it up. Art's not too bad. Not my taste, but we'll see what the story brings. I kind of like the scary stories and the horror comics too. Miss Marvel, Dark Web, as we were talking about her on the show. See how, if you ever watch the show, see how she is in the comics. The girl who plays her looks nothing like her. She's shorter, and I don't know. It just amazes me. But she wasn't bad in the role. DC War of the Ungods. And we see Lobo has joined the story. Pretty cool. Badass. And we're coming to an end on this DC Vampires All Out War. This is a spin-off kind of from the DC Vampires. We've got Dark Crisis, number 7. I believe this is the last one. Dawn of the DCU. So I guess we're going to see some changes come to the DCU. Wonder if it's wrapped into the film universe, which we'll see. Time will tell. All right, we got Batman versus Robin 4. I just picked up number 2 that I missed, so I have 3 up there in my backlog to read, and now I can continue reading that story. Amazing Spider-Man 15 Dark Web story. We've got Dark Crisis Big Bang, which I was a dumbass and just ordered again today, but for $1.80. Too late. Oh well. That was one of the Midtown Comics sales for today, and I just saw it and I grabbed it for $1.80 because I didn't see it in my list, but apparently there it is. I didn't look hard enough. Happens. We have Spider-Man number 4. This is End of the Spider-Verse story. So it's funny how they're running 2 Spider-Man stories, big stories at the same time. We've got Edge of the Spider-Verse, End of the Spider-Verse going on, plus Dark Web now. True Star Wars fan, number 30. Another Amazing Spider-Man, Dark Web. And the final issue of Creepshow. The trade paperback was actually on the preview order, so if you didn't read these or not, most of the stories were pretty good. So that's a pretty cool cover too. So I enjoyed this little series. It was only a 4-issue run, but it was good. Carnage number 8, where the Carnage symbiote has lives on its own now. It has no host, and it's building itself into something greater, collecting superhero powers. So we'll see what happens with that. Deadly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's out in L.A. and he's battling the Demon Bear. Um, Not a fan of this one, but it's a limited series, so I'll see it to the end. I got the X-Men number 2 because it's a dark web tie-in. And then we've got our number 2 bag. No trade paperbacks in this one. Alright, so we've got Star Wars Bounty Hunters. Bosk there. Savage Avengers 2099. So far, I've been enjoying the Savage Avengers. It's, I mean, good stories so far. So, the way it's been going. Planet Hulk Warbreaker. I haven't read the first one yet. X-Men Dark Web, the first one. Batman versus Spawn. This is the one shot with McFarlane and I don't know, recognize the other names, but Batman Spawn. This is a one shot. Give that a read, see how that is. I do have the originals of Batman versus Spawn. Avengers Assemble Part 4. Another good story. We're finally seeing what Mephenso, the devil. And the names that I can't pronounce. I gotta get a little soundboard here, and when I can't pronounce the names, push the button for everybody. But the devil's in that one. We're gonna see what he's been planning with the affecting the Avengers through every timeline in multiverse. Yoda number 2. Haven't read the first one yet. And we're gonna see what happens, and if we get the King of the Vampires, Nightwing there, who is the King of the Vampires in DC versus Vampires. We'll see how the story ends. Another good story, DC story with everybody gets turned to vampires, so it's pretty damn cool. This is one, Mr. James Gunn. Not with the main characters, I would say, but take some of the offbeat characters and do a series on HBO Max, or even a small movie of something like this. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a hit. Or with the Undead series too. People love vampires and zombies. If I'm telling you, Mr. Gunn, Mr. James Gunn, if you make a DC versus vampire or a vampire DC movie, you struck gold if you do it right. I'm telling you. Just like if Marvel would do a Marvel zombie movie, you would strike gold. I know it. I'm just saying it. Not just because I'm a fan of horror, but I'm telling you, people would eat that up. Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. That is written by Bruce Campbell, star of the original Evil Dead. Good story there, too. Midnight Suns. This is limited from Marvel. It's alright. Nothing to write home about. This is another series that I've been rambling about in Philadelphia. Another one that should be made into a series of movies or a show on HBO Max or something. Great story. Vampires, presidents from George Washington to Thomas Jefferson. They're all vampires. They've been vampires. In my opinion, the government is vampires anyway, so it's a pretty good portrayal. Since they suck the life out of us little guys. Alright, Secret Invasion 3. I'm going to see where this goes. and if it's some kind of tie into the new show that's coming to Disney Plus. Spider-Man Murder World. There's a little series going on. I have the X-Men one over there, so we're gonna check that out. Haven't started those yet. As the comics slide off into the balance. All Out Avengers. Yep, I've been on an Avengers kick lately. We have Vanish. This is an Image comic. Magic, current world. I like the story so far. The characters. So I'm going to continue reading that one. And the cover I got sitting here looks pretty damn cool. This is Spider-Man The Lost Hunt. That is an awesome cover. You know what? I'll take it out of the plastic so you guys can get a good look at that. I like that cover. I like that cover a lot. That's a pretty damn cool cover. Good story so far, too. I try not to reveal anything about the stories. I get little tidbits here and there. Don't want to ruin it for somebody else who, if you're watching, you haven't read it yet. I got Namor the Submarine, Conquered Shores. This is my first one, part 3. I just ordered 1 and 2 this morning. So, looked interesting. I wanted to read that. Gold Goblin, Dark Web tie-in. Planet Hulk number 3. World Breaker. All Out. Avengers Forever. This is the Avengers Assemble storyline part 3. Crossing Through the Time Stream. Oh wow, I like this cover too. I'm going to take this one right out of the into. This is Alien 4 of the current Marvel story. I like that Queen picture. I really like the hand painted art on the covers and stuff like that. It just looks so cool to me. Fortunately, there's still a little glare there, but that's a pretty cool cover. The story so far, we have Synthetics, who are a squad of soldiers who are actually going to retrieve an egg for Wayland Yutani. And last but not least, Mandalorian number 6. Really just a retelling of the show so far. So that's it for all my comics that I got in this week. We'll catch up on Sweet Tooth. Hopefully, maybe finish it out that week and this week coming up. And the Mayans, I'll let you guys know how that is. And I really hope I can get into some of The Last of Us to talk about that next week. So, guys, I appreciate you watching. And if you enjoyed watching, please leave me a like. If you want to comment, any questions, anything like that, advice, collecting advice. I've been doing this a long time. I save a lot of money when I'm collecting because I'm a frugal collector. So ask me a question in the comment. And if you want, follow me on Facebook and on TikTok. Thanks for watching. And this is Woo's the Collector signing off.